Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So Google has rolled out the early stable update to 145 of Chrome, which is going to be our next version upgrade. And the early stable rolls out a week or so before the release becomes generally available to the public. Now, once again, like most, I haven't received the early stable. I have only received the early stable once since running this channel. But nonetheless, the early stable version and build is 145.0.7632.26 or 27 on Windows or Mac. Now, the purpose of the early stable, according to Google, is to iron out bugs before it makes it to the general public. And if we head to the calendar, the early stable rolled out late yesterday in my part of the world. I don't think we're going to see it next week. All the major browser releases are starting with Chromium updates the week starting the 9th. So that means we could see either the 10th or the 11th Google Chrome 145 roll out to the general public. I don't think we're going to see it next week to what I'm seeing in the Chrome platform status and so on. Now, focusing on what we can expect, obviously this is subject to change, and this is according to the Chrome platform status, what I'm seeing in preview versions and what I have been talking about previously on the channel. Now, first of all, I think there's a good chance we are going to start seeing the first signs of the native vertical tabs, which I don't think it'll be a default feature. I think it's going to be hidden behind an experimental flag according to the Chrome platform status. So if we head over to Chrome Canary, which is an early preview version, which is currently sitting on version 146, if we head to the tab strip, right click, move tabs to the side. There we go. There is my vertical tabs. Very similar to what we get in Brave and Edge and so on, just to mention one or two browsers. So with the rollout of version 145, if we just move tabs to the top again and we head into our experimental features, I'm sure we are going to see the vertical tabs flag roll out to the stable. And that'll be nice to see, because that means that that's a good indication that in future releases, maybe version 146, that'll become a default feature. And then just to mention that there's an improvement for Safari data import if you're running Chrome on iOS, where switching from Safari to Chrome on iPhone will now be much smoother. Chrome 145 for iOS can import bookmarks, history, and passwords directly from a Safari export file, so that'll be nice to see. And then, of course, we're going to see further Gemini integration, where Gemini is going to be pushed deeper into the browser. And just like Edge, Chrome is fast becoming a so-called agentic AI-focused browser. And I think the Gemini integration is going to be more region-specific, and if you are subscribed with a subscription. So more Gemini integration. And then if you are running the browser on Android, there's now going to be on-device scam detection, which is a new security layer that uses AI to flag potential phishing or scammy behavior in real time. And this will be processed locally on the device for privacy, according to Google. And then just to mention some security and performance improvements that are going to be taking place under the hood. There's going to be improvements to the privacy sandbox, where 145 will continue the removal of legacy tracking mechanisms like third-party cookies for more users, replacing them with the new privacy sandbox APIs. There's also going to be reduced user agent strings, and this is to prevent fingerprinting. Chrome will further simplify the information the browser shares about your device with websites, which I think is a nice move. And then the last mention under security and performance is where Chrome will remove support for obsolete virtual cameras on macOS to improve system stability. So those are just a couple of security and performance improvements that we'll see taking place behind the scenes. And obviously, we will get our weekly security updates that will roll out with version 145 in the next week or two. And I still think there's going to be a good chance that uBlock Origin will still work using the workaround with version 145. And my reason for saying that is if we head back to Canary and I head into the extensions, manage extensions, the workaround still works for MV2 extensions, the likes of uBlock Origin, and that's on version 146. So there's a good chance, because this is still working in 146, that the next stable release 145 will still be able to implement the workaround for MV2 and uBlock Origin. And I'll leave a video link down below and in the end screen on how I got uBlock Origin back and working in Google Chrome, if you haven't seen that already and you are using the extension, which has helped quite a few folks out. So guys, that's more or less what we can expect to see. Obviously, there might be one or two tweaks or adjustments with the user interface that Google may surprise us with, but Chrome 145 should start rolling out, I would suggest, the week of the 10th of February 2026. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.